Alrighty, guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We have got the Las Vegas Grand Prix today, and of course the qualifying up ahead in 14 minutes time. A lot to look forward to. It's going to be a very exciting qualifying session, and in fact, there's a risk of rain supposedly of 30% in Las Vegas, which has historically been a very dry place. But we'll wait and see what happens. And yeah. All right, let me know what your predictions are. Who you think is going to get pole position? I will run through what's happened in this weekend so far. It's been a bit of a shambles, if we're being honest, at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, um, because it's the first race here. They didn't seal up the drain covers properly, so basically what's happened is Carlos Sainz was driving around in FP1, and the drain covers weren't sealed properly. And what happened because of that was he drove over the drain cover. The car produced a whole bunch of downforce, a suction force effectively, where the car sort of sucks itself towards the ground. And there was a drain cover, and the drain cover just got sucked totally off the ground and hit Carlos Sainz's car, damaging his engine, his energy store. There's quite a few other things that got damaged, and he's going to have to take a 10-place grid penalty because of that damage. Now, many of you, including me, would be like, that's totally unfair. That's not even his fault. The track did it, so he shouldn't get a penalty for it. But I think the stewards also think the exact same thing, right? And then, but the stewards released a statement saying there are no rules in the FIA guidebook, like in the FIA rule book, sorry, that say the stewards are allowed to overturn a penalty because of extreme circumstances or something. Like the stewards just don't have the authority, which doesn't make particularly any sense because the stewards are the people that like run the race weekend, sort of like they run all the stewarding decisions, of course. Which yeah, you would think that they'd be able to overturn a penalty, but apparently they can't, which is quite strange. Woke up at 3 a.m. to watch. Yeah, it's quite early. Well, it's not too early now. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning here in the UK. But tomorrow's race that's at 6 a.m. So yeah, it's fine though. Just getting up early on a weekend, just not too bad. Only I don't have to do it every single weekend, so it's fine. And the code monster. It's not because of the damage. It had to be. They had to replace it, which wasn't allowed. Okay. Right. Well, 11 minutes till the qualifying session. And then this is common sense should prevail and ignore the rule book for yeah. I mean, yeah, that is ideally what should happen. But yeah, I mean, I think they have to, because normally when they overturn a penalty or when they give out a penalty, they have to cite, like they have to say, oh, this part of the rule book says this, and that's why he's got a penalty. So yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I think they should have just added a rule in, but I don't know like the process of changing the rule book for the FIA. So yeah. Is it me? Does the track look like an upside down pig? It does look like an upside down pig. I was actually going to post a meme about that. Yeah. Oh, also, so I'll just run you through what happened in FP1, FP2. There have been quite a few incidents, drivers locking up, going off the circuit, not making corners. Alex Albon even hitting the wall. But effectively, the in FP1, the session was like cancelled because of the drain cover damage that Sainz got, and then they spent like 2.5 hours sealing up all of the drain covers. Then FP3 started. Oh no, FP2 started. Sorry. Oh, and also Ibex does YouTube. Are you going to cover the race? Well, yes, I will. I'll be doing qualifying and the race. Yeah, so qualifying now in 9 minutes, and the race tomorrow, of course. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so FP1 was totally cancelled, and then there was like a 2.5 hour delay on FP2 because they were still sealing up all of the drain covers to make sure, there's no more damage to any other car. And then, yeah, so they did that. And then after doing that, FP2 started. We got all the cars going out, of course. It was extended out to be 90 minutes rather than the usual 60 minutes because, of course, FP1 was totally cancelled, so they need to give the teams compensation for that time. So they extended it out by another 30 minutes. And then, one sec, let me just see. So then what happened in FP2? Let me just get the standings up for FP2. So standings were, oh yeah, the two Ferraris at the top of the timings, which is very good indeed, of course. Great to see Ferrari up there and potentially challenging Red Bull. We don't really know Red Bull's pace isn't, well, we don't really know much because FP3, they were going to do soft tyre runs, but Alex Albon brought out the red flag. So we don't know Red Bull's true pace on the soft tyres. And neither do we know for many of the teams, to be honest, with Leclerc and Sainz down in 17th position. I'm sure their soft tyre runs weren't accurate in FP3. So, yeah, it's all a little bit hidden going into this qualifying session, and that just makes it all the more exciting. We'll have to wait and see right till the end of Q3 to find out who's the fastest car. Yeah. Alonso, though, having a good FP2 up in third position. He said there's more to come from the car. It's going to improve more and more. So we'll wait and see what Aston Martin can do. But of course, they had a great weekend last race. So yeah, they'll just be looking to continue that momentum, of course. And of course, they got a podium last. Oh, did they get a podium? Oh yeah, they did. No. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, it was a race to the finish between Alonso and Perez, and it was half a tenth between them. But yeah, they did get a podium, and yeah, they'll be looking to continue that momentum, which is great to see. Nico Hulkenberg with a surprise 7th position in FP2. Of course, we've seen this Haas car. At least one of the drivers tends to outperform the other quite significantly. It's a little bit strange, to be honest, but yeah. I do hope anybody but Max wins the last race of the season. They sent fans home so they couldn't watch FP2. Oh, really? I did not know that because FP2, it was scheduled to be midnight at Las Vegas time, but then they delayed it like another 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it was 2:30 in the morning when it was meant to happen. So I don't think they sent the fans home. I think the fans just went home because it was far too late and they didn't want to wait 2.5 hours out in the cold. Actually, maybe it wasn't cold in Las Vegas, but yeah. The corner near the pit exit is way too dangerous. Yeah, I have noticed that it is what drivers have been locking up, and then also I think the pit exit is onto the apex of a corner, which is never great. And considering these guys had full autonomy when designing the race circuit, I'm surprised they didn't pick anything better, to be honest. Of course, it is a street circuit, so they do have those limitations, but nevertheless, I still think that they should have done a better job. Yeah. Alrighty. Got 150 people tune in. Thank you for thank you for tuning in. Yeah, very much do appreciate the support. And if you guys could hit the like button, that would be fantastic. All right. Let's see. What else is going on? Not really that much, to be honest. FP3 wasn't the most exciting thing in the world. There were, of course, lockups here and there. Yeah. Oh, they actually kicked fans out. Not a lot of happy fans. Well, it just continues to the idea that the Vegas race has just not been very good this year. But not the race, of course, but the entire weekend as a whole was a bit misplanned, and there are a lot of people not happy about how it was organised and whatnot. Um, yeah, did the FIA screw up with the audience? Well, to be honest, I'm not particularly sure. I didn't actually hear anything about the fans being kicked out, but I wasn't also particularly looking into it either. So, yeah. Do you think Las Vegas is going to stick it through till 2026? Well, they have a contract and they have a lot of money, so typically that means Formula One will stick it through to 2026. Yeah. Yeah, I think the main part is that they have a lot of money, which means that they will stay. Um, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm trying to be pretty quiet here, not wake up my roommates because that would not be ideal. It's strange to me that school starts at 11 p.m. Yeah, it's all quite different times. Yeah. Oh, hello, Wade Coppage. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. Good to see that you're back. Yeah. Okay. We've got 3 minutes now till quali starts. And what was I going to say? Yeah, just an awful lot of lockups actually. We saw both Alfa Romeos locking up going into, I think it's turn number 5. I'm not 100% sure. Also, the straight after turn number 12, going towards turn number 14, that is 200 meters shorter than the straight in Baku. So it is one of the longest straights that we do have on the calendar. Baku being, I think, like nearing up on 2 kilometers or something. So it's just slightly shorter than that. Yeah. Can't see the 20-minute driver on the data yet. Once I get rid of the countdown timer, you'll be able to see them. Missed a few races. Hope all is well. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Hope all is well for you as well. Yeah. All right. In Poland, the time is 8:58. Yeah. Here in the UK, it's 7:58. Just 1 hour time difference. Stroll and Science of penalties. Oh, Stroll has a penalty as well, does he? I definitely know Science is a 10-place grid penalty. I haven't heard about Stroll's penalty, but I will endeavour to find out. Do you know why Stroll has a penalty? Because I do not know why. Okie dokes. Yeah, 1 minute now, and the drivers will be making their way out of the pits. Yeah, this circuit, one of the longer circuits, I think it's 6.8 kilometers, which makes it, a very long compared. I think it's coming up quite similar to Spa and stuff like that, which means that we'll just have less laps, and a longer circuit always means that there's less chance for getting caught up in traffic, which is good because this is a new circuit. The team's not sure about the deltas, like how long it takes to go from one section to the other. They don't have a accurate feel for it. Like, of course, looking at the lap times and stuff, they'll be able to work it out, but they don't have an accurate feel for, oh, this driver's at turn number 4. It's going to take them about 10 seconds to get to turn number 5. I need to tell my driver to watch out for someone. So, yeah, that sort of feeling that the engineers, they haven't got that as much. The drivers aren't exactly, 100% confident with the circuit as they would be with, a much older race circuit like Spa or Suzuka or something like that. So it's just good that we've got a 6.8 kilometer long circuit, which means that less chance for traffic mix ups and stuff like that. Second longest circuit, yeah, okay. Fair enough then. All right, qualifying starting shortly now. I walked alongside the track last night between FP1 and FP2. Saw the best looking Prost. Okay. Stroll overtook in a yellow. Okay. The longest is Spa. Spa is, I think, 7.2 kilometers. All right, FP1 has begun. Not FP1, Q1 has begun. Q1. K-Mag, Hulkenberg, Ricardo, Sargent, all making their way out onto the circuit. All the drivers coming out quite early as well, because the lap times, of course, with a longer circuit, it's going to take you longer to go around the entire lap. And yeah, the longer it takes you to go around the entire lap, then then yeah, and then you obviously need more time to go around. So that's why they're getting out early in the session when we have 18 minutes on the clock. I wish they bring back the old Hockenheim, replace Vegas with that. The old layout it was just fast with straights. Yeah, I mean, the old Hockenheim ring, I think it's a little bit too long for an F1 circuit right now. But the or Hockenheim ring that we were racing on before, that was a brilliant circuit, and I definitely think it should be used. Is it dry? It is. It is dry. Yeah. Hello, Kies. Nice to see you here. I think it's 8 a.m., 8 p.m. or something in Australia, so it's quite a convenient time actually. Um, but it'll be on Sunday, no? No. No, it'll be Saturday night. What time is it where you are? It is 8 a.m. On Saturday morning. Oh, look at this. We got the Red Bulls coming out early as well. This is not something you see very often. Sergio Perez coming out of the pit in the first 2 minutes of Q1. A little bit well, I think the teams are just trying to get a banker lap in, make sure there isn't a red flag or anything like that because with a new circuit and it being a street circuit, of course, it's going to be a lot more, well, a lot higher chance of having a red flag and someone crashing. And this is the other thing. So in FP1 and FP2, and then in FP3, the drivers were slowly and slowly building up the pace, building up their confidence around the circuit, learning about the circuit and all of those different things. But then once they get into Q1, that's just going to be maximum focus, and they've got to start, really pushing the limits. And the teams and the drivers have not pushed the limits here before, so we'll have to wait and see. What happens there, and do they? Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Like, is anyone going to crash? We can see a lot of crashes. I suspect we'll see quite a few lockups, but I'm not sure about crashes. The FIA should pay to fix a car outside the stable budget. Yeah, I definitely think the FIA should do that. I think the track ends up having to pay because I remember, I think it was like 2016 China or 2016 Malaysia. I'm not 100% sure. That one of the Haas cars drove over a drain cover, which gave the car like a puncture and resulted in a massive crash, and it cost like 2 million to repair all of that. But then the circuit had to pay the fee, because of course Haas is a very very small team and they can't afford to just pay 2 million to repair a car that wasn't even their fault in damaging. So the track had to pay for it. So I'm sure Las Vegas will have some sort of arrangement with Ferrari to pay for it. Yeah, back in 2019 there were drain hole cover issues, and FP1 and FP2 were delayed in the same manner that this race was as well. Alrighty. We've got 110 likes. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And yeah, let's get going. Right, crikey. What was I going to say? 600 people tuning in. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll be getting underway shortly. Well, we're already underway, and we've got a fastest lap from Leclerc. Look at this, a 134.8. And he's a solid 4 tenths faster than Perez. Now, usually we know the gap between Verstappen and Perez, which means that Verstappen and Leclerc are going to be matched on their lap time. Well, approximately matched at least, which is always great to see. And we could have a very good fight for Q3. Yeah. All right. Crikey, yeah. F1 gamer becomes Russell. All right. Yeah, next driver across the line is Esteban Ocon. Then we've got Gasly up into seventh. The McLarens as well, looking not as quick as they were in the practice sessions. Of course, in the practice session, they did get very, very lucky because they set their um, lap times a lot earlier than everyone else, which meant that they didn't get, which means they didn't get blocked by the red flag, of course. So that's what happened there with the McLarens. All right. Oh, what's happened here? That is just it's just frozen. Let me fix that. There we go. All right. Oh wait, never mind. I need to add a little bit of a delay to it. Right. The data will unfreeze in about 30 seconds. Yeah. Apologies for my not great commentary. I will get back on it. I need to have a quick drink of water and then I'll get going for the remainder of the session. Oh wow, look at this. We've got Kevin Mangston up in fourth position. I mean, he was doing well in the practice sessions, but up into fourth place, that is very, very good for the Haas driver. Um, yeah, I mean, that's good to see. We'll wait and see if he can continue that performance, of course, um, but yeah. All right. So we got the two Ferraris. We got Science purple middle sector, but that's quickly taken away by Leclerc. Leclerc now going purple in both sectors, which is it's looking good. He's not got anyone. Well, he's got Sonoda ahead of him, but it should be fine. He'll get out of the way before the final corner. And yeah, I live really close to the Haas headquarters. Well, that is pretty cool. 9 minutes remaining on the clock though, and we have got Charles Leclerc just making his way now towards the final corner. Carlos Sainz across the line on 134.7. Leclerc next across the line on 134.0. Oh my god, Leclerc 7 tenths of a second faster than Carlos Sainz. 7 tenths, that is absolutely massive. Where has he got that pace from? No idea. But yeah, that is some serious pace there from Charles Leclerc, which is brilliant. One sec, let me just fix this, fix the screen. All right. As we can see here, Ferrari being a very well, we're at a low downforce circuit, and Ferrari is actually able to challenge Red Bull. So, well, it just bodes well for the remaining part of qualifying. Once we do get to low downforce circuits, the Ferrari gets closer and closer to the Red Bull, and yeah, that is great to see. We've got Fernando Alonso up in fourth position now. Also, track evolution is going to be pretty key. Of course, it is a new F1 circuit. We've only had an FP2 and an FP3 session here, so any running the track gets, that will mean it grips up more and more, and we'll get more and more quicker and quicker lap times and more rubber laid down onto the circuit itself. Yeah. Oops, Yuki Tsunoda has got a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits here. So track limits also once again an issue at turn number 8 this time. Um, yeah, interesting. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, but we haven't seen that many track limit deletions before. So, and of course, it being a street circuit, it's quite likely there are just walls everywhere. So exceeding track limits isn't really that big of an issue in most times. Well, yeah, in most circumstances. Um, all right, we've got Perez, next driver across the line. He's up into second. So I look at this, yeah, Perez 5 tenths behind Charles Leclerc, which usually means Verstappen, once he does set his lap time, well, once he does set a good lap time, he will end up being quicker. Also, look at this. Hamilton, fastest in the final sector, is very, very quick from him. Of course, the final sector is quite close to just being an entire straight, well, just being a straight mainly. Um, so, well, I guess he either got a tow or the Mercedes has some good top speed this weekend. What time is it in America? I think it's actually midnight. Um, yeah, yeah, it's midnight right now. Well, 12 minutes past midnight. Why are they having a race at ungodly hours? So people in Europe, which is the main base in like the main fan base in Formula One, can watch it at a reasonable time. Because if they did it any hour, if they did it like say at 8 o'clock, then the race in the UK and the most of Europe would be at 2-3 a.m., which is yeah not ideal if you're the most of the F1 fans are in Europe. Alrighty. Yeah, just 5 minutes for 5 minutes remaining. We've got quite a lot of drivers still out on the circuit. They will be coming in, of course. We've seen a couple of drivers doing 2 runs actually. 2 runs on a set of tires. So yeah, that's just laying down more and more rubber, to be honest. Of course, his second runs aren't exactly representative, but Charles Leclerc still going faster on his second run. So that just shows, that's just a testament to track evolution, really. It's just improving so much. Is it still cold in Vegas? It is a 15-degree air temperature, track temperature 17 degrees, so it is quite cold actually. Um, yeah, it is quite cold. Yeah, race in Japan, China, and Singapore have crazy start times globally. Yes, they do. But the thing is, in Japan, they can't change the time too much because they don't have floodlights at the Suzuka circuit. Um, in Singapore, they want to hold a night race. And I don't think Singapore's race time is actually too bad. Um, and I don't know about China because we haven't raced there in a while. Yeah, 17 degrees is quite cold for Vegas, I'm pretty sure, because Vegas is like in the middle of a desert or something. So yeah, it should be. Well, of course, it's going to be. But usually deserts get quite cold over the nighttime, so I'm not particularly sure. I mean, 17 degrees usually in the UK it would be fine, but I don't know. It depends like where you are in the world. Are they racing in China next year? Don't think they are. I think that their contract has just fallen through and it's been totally cancelled, which is quite unfortunate for Guan Yu Zhou. Of course, that would be his home race, but yeah, no F1 in China. All right, Logan Sargent up into third position. I mean, wow, Carlos Sainz crosses the line again, goes 2 tenths faster than Charles Leclerc. Verstappen also, he came up into third position. Leclerc next across the line, he goes 2 tenths faster than Carlos Sainz. So this time the gap a lot smaller. Sainz was 7 tenths behind his teammate on the previous run, and now this time they are only 2 tenths apart. And also Ferrari doing a little strange thing here. I mean, they're only going out on a used set of tires. They have not come in for a fresh set. So they've done 7 laps on those sets of softs, which is, I mean, the circuit's not too bad on the tires because it is mainly straights, of course. So it's not that big of a deal, but still 7 laps on a set of softs for qualifying is quite big. Yeah. Hello, Zayn Malik. Nice to see that you're here. I really enjoy this time as in India. I get to enjoy the Sunday with the Vegas race and the Cricket World Cup final. Yeah. Oh yeah, India are through to the final. They're going to play Australia. That is tomorrow. Yeah, wait and see how that goes. But I mean, it's played at India, so I hopefully, well, ideally, India would win. That'd be a nice story. But we'll have to wait and see. Never liked cricket in my life, but I'm really trying to watch it this year. Yeah, well, I mean, the World Cup's on, got the final tomorrow, so yeah, go ahead and give it a watch, guys. 2 minutes left on the clock now, and we've got quite a few drivers now coming out for their final runs. They'll be coming out shortly. Um, yeah, they might need to do multiple warm up laps, but they're only still doing one. Is the race at 8 a.m. The race is at 6 a.m. UK time. And are they doing multiple warm up laps? I have not been keeping a track of it, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure that they will be doing only just one because. Admittedly, the circuit is very it's not too intensive on the tires, but they've got 6.8 kilometers to warm up their tires. Like whereas in Monaco, they only have like 3 kilometers or something. So yeah, when you have a 6.8 kilometer circuit, you're really not going to need to do 2 laps to warm up your tires because you can just do it all in one. The straight is like just under 2 kilometers, which means that yeah, you have 2 kilometers to weave around and heat up your tires. We've got an awful lot more track limit lap time deletions, but it doesn't really matter because they're all slow laps anyway. Yeah, they're all slow laps, so it's a non-issue. Is Piastri getting out of Q1? I think he will. I mean, looking at Norris, he's up in 12th position. And once they put on a fresh set of... Wait, what? They're out on 8-lap-old soft tyres. Why are they out on 8-lap-old soft tyres? That is very strange. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. I don't know why they're on 8-lap-old soft tyres. Well, maybe they're not going to make it through because they're on such old tyres. We'll have to wait and see. There's only 38 seconds left on the clock, so they'll be looking to start a flying lap. I don't know what everyone else is doing because they're not going to make it around in 30 seconds, I don't think. So, oh, we've got a yellow flag. Yuki Tsunoda has crashed into the wall at turn number 5. We saw this with Alex Albon, and we now see it with Yuki Tsunoda. We have a yellow flag. Can he get going again? Yes, he can. So looks to be fine. Oh, did he? Oh no, I think he went into the what's it called? The runoff area. There we go. I'm pretty sure a lot of teams are running out of tires already for the weekend. I don't see why they should be running out of tires though, because FP1 was totally cancelled as well. So why would you run out of tires if you've already had? If you didn't even have to do one session, you know what I mean? It doesn't exactly make much sense to me, but yeah. Right, crikey. All right, so this is 0 minutes left on the clock now. We've got quite a few drivers who have finished their laps already, sat in the pits. Of course, we've got Leclerc and Sainz, Perez. Perez sat in the pits, being in P13, which is a little bit risky there from Red Bull. But everyone else has now come across the finish line. Piastri, yeah, his lap is not improving whatsoever. So I think that is it. We've got the two McLarens eliminated out of Q1. That is so strange. I mean, they were top of FP3, and now they're eliminated out of Q1. That is, yeah, not something you see every day. And then Tsunoda, because he's got lap time deleted and then messed up his lap on the following occasion. So Not been ideal there for Yuki Tsunoda, and then Guan Yu Zhou in 18th and Esteban Ocon in 17th. So those two drivers getting eliminated. Bit strange though, Zhou 18th and Bottas up in 7th. There's a very big gap there between those two drivers, and usually they're quite closely matched. So yeah, not great there for Guan Yu Zhou this weekend. And Pierre Gasly is up in 6th position and Esteban Ocon down in 17th. So another big gap there between the two teammates. So yeah, a bit strange to see the teammates so far apart, but sometimes that's what happens when you get new circuits and all of that stuff. It is yeah. Also, guys, I just like to point this out. Logan Sargent has got out of Q1. He's not in 20th position and he's in 12th. Yeah, Q2 on home soil. I mean, this man is yeah, I mean it's just doing. Oh, what was I gonna say? There's that American meme. What is it? Oh yeah, what the F is a kilometer? And then a bunch of eagle noises. Obviously, Logan Sargent, he's found oil. He's found oil at the Las Vegas circuit, and that's why he's going so quickly. Yeah. The circuit looks like an upside down picture of a pig. Yeah, it does. It does. This got mentioned earlier as well. Yuki went really far behind. Yeah, Yuki did get a lap time deleted as well. So that's why he is that far behind. Q1 is already finished, guys. Yeah, my commentary has really not been on top of it. I mean, I woke up I got out of bed only an hour ago. My alarm went off a little bit earlier than that. But yeah. All right, 1,200 people tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you could hit the like button, that would be fantastic. And also, if you could, what was I going to say? Just click on the pinned link. It is. I think there's some sort of discount basically for F1 TV, which means that you can watch F1 for cheaper, cheaper than Sky Sports for sure. So just go ahead and click the link and yeah, just find out if it's cheaper, and if you want to pay it, then yeah, you can, and if not, then no harm done. Right. Penalties coming for some drivers. Well, yeah, of course, Carlos Sainz is going to get a 10th place penalty. Stroll is apparently going to get a penalty for overtaking under yellow flags. Not 100% sure about that. Rubbering the track still. Yes, the track is still being rubbered in. So, yeah. All right, there we go. The bottom 5 have been eliminated. Q2 will start shortly. Bro, for real, you'll need to sleep. Yeah, definitely do need to sleep. All right, just give me 1 second. Q2 starts in like 3 minutes, so yeah. Right, eliminated basically in Q1, the 5 slowest drivers are eliminated, and the remaining 15 progress through into Q2, and then the same happens in Q2, and yeah. The track looks like an upside down bear. Yeah, an upside down bear, an upside down pig. I think actually bear's more accurate. Yeah. Do you think Stroll will get a penalty? If so, how many places? Well, I don't know. Someone's told me that Stroll will get a penalty for overtaking under a yellow flag, but I am not certain. Oh, I guess I can take you through this circuit because it is a new circuit, of course. So turn number 1, that is a nice little hairpin corner. The drivers just, they've obviously got a very long straight as they go through here. And this turn number 17 is very high speed, and then just getting down into turn number 1, there is quite a few overtaking opportunities, and then you go back on yourself, go through turn number 3 and 4. This should produce some good racing on lap number 1 tomorrow. We'll be able to see a lot of drivers trying to do a switchback and all sorts of stuff, and then of course DRS down this straight towards turn number 5. We've seen Alex Albon crash here. Yuki Tsunoda locked up and went straight on into the runoff area. By the way, guys, Q2 has just started. We've got 5 seconds left. Well, 5 seconds have just gone off the timer, and Fernando Alonso out of the pit lane now. And then turn number 6 is just another high-speed corner. And then going into turn number 7, 8, this is very, very tricky here. I mean, Tsunoda exceeded track limits here on a hot lap. And then you go through into turn number 9, very tight, twisty section. And the barrier is quite close together, so it will be interesting to see how the drivers deal with that. And then turn number 10 and 11, these are very high speed as well. They don't got to break into turn number 12. The main part at 10 and 11 is you just get a good line into the braking zone of turn number 12. And then you've got a very, very long straight, only 200 meters shorter than the straight in Baku. And of course, the straight in Baku, very, very long indeed, nearly 2 kilometers. And then, yeah, I mean, this is a very, very small, tight chicane that they go through. And yeah, once again, back onto the straight. So, yeah. Flip the track mark around. I mean, I could flip it, but the issue is, if I do flip it, right, let's see. Where is it? Transform, rotate 180 degrees. There we go. But all of the, that is 100% like, I don't know, but the problem is all of the font is upside down, which means you can't read like Perez because it says Perez upside down, which is not ideal. So I will once again rotate it 180 degrees. There we go. Okie dokes, the driver's coming out on soft tyres once again for Q2. 13 minutes on the clock. And the drivers will only be able to get 2 runs in this time unless they have loaded up on some extra fuel, which they might have, actually. Yeah, what do you think tyre strategies might be for the race? Actually, they haven't released anything, Pirelli, but I think the circuit will be quite low tyre wear, just considering that there aren't that many high-speed corners. We will probably just be getting a one-stop race, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, soft and soft again is a little bit pushing it, but maybe you could even pull off a soft and medium strategy. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh my god. I thought Hulkenberg and Magnussen were up in 3rd and 5th, but they haven't set a lap time yet, and nobody has, in fact. All right. Look at this. So we got Alonso and Stroll setting times here. Magnussen, in fact, purple. He's going. He was 2 seconds quicker than Alonso in the first sector. It looks like Alonso's doing a warm-up lap. I can't exactly. Yeah, Alonso's doing a warm-up lap. Okay, bit strange there actually. Would have expected it, but we'll wait and see if it works out for them. Thing is, they've got time to experiment now. Like when they are in Q2, they have time for like 2.5 runs. So if they do want to do one warm-up lap and see how it goes, then they can try that out. Fernando Alonso cross line of 142. And then, of course, that is 6 seconds slower, 8 seconds slower than K-Mag's time of 134.0. Very quick indeed. In fact, Kevin Magnussen is quicker than Charles Leclerc in the first sector, which is very interesting indeed. And also Verstappen, I mean, his pace is just not here, mate. Like, it is just not where, well, it's not up on pole position, really, which is what we all expect. So, yeah. Maybe we could see a pole from Charles Leclerc. Have you ever been to an F1 race? I never have, but I hope in the near future. I have not been to an F1 race. The tickets for Silverstone are quite expensive. But I mean, I might go at some point. I'm not 100% sure. What happened to McLaren? I don't know. McLaren just had a very bad day, and they're down in 16th and 8th in 19th. I don't know exactly what happened. They were going out on, okay, McLaren, this might have been their own fault. They went out on 9 and 10 lap old soft tires for the final run of Q1, probably thinking, oh yeah, we'll make it through. It'll be fine. And they did make it through. So I think that's what happened for McLaren. Leclerc, pole, I'm 90% sure he's getting a toll. Yeah. He will be getting a tow from Carlos Sainz because Sainz has got a 10 place grid penalty. There's no need. He's not going to get pole anyway. So I think they will just, sacrifice Sainz in a way and make sure Leclerc gets pole. But Alonso's now come across the line on 133.8. Just ever so marginally quicker than Charles Leclerc, but Charles Leclerc, 10 lap old soft tyres, and he's still going. So, yeah. And also, Perez 1 millisecond faster than Charles Leclerc, literally 0.001 seconds faster. Very, very close indeed. But I mean, if Perez can go faster than Leclerc, I'm sure Verstappen can as well. But Verstappen's just sat in the pits, though. I mean, maybe they're making some sort of setup changes, but once you're in qualifying and started, you can only really change the front wing angle and a couple of other things. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Why did the bottom five not go out in Q2? Because they've been eliminated in Q1, so that's how it works. The bottom five get eliminated, and then they don't take part in the following session. Oh, look at this. Alex Albon up into 5th position. He's got purple in the 3rd sector. I think he got a bit of a toe off Valtteri Bottas, if I'm being honest. But nevertheless, I mean, if you can time a toe nicely out the final corner or out the back straight, that is brilliant. And I mean, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Why has Sainz got a 10 place penalty? Surely Ferrari can't be blamed for the damage caused by the circuit. I mean, it can't. Ferrari can't be blamed. It's not Ferrari's fault. And the stewards, they want to get rid of the penalty, but they look through the entire rule book and there's nothing saying, there's nothing in the rule book saying because of exceptional circumstances, we can stop giving a penalty or something like that. It's just not in the rule book. And I personally think that they should change the rule book. They should, add a rule in or something like right now. But I'm sure there's some sort of process that they have to follow, which means that they can't do it. I mean, it's extremely annoying and they should just make a new rule. But yeah. What does the blue in the sector indicate? The blue means that the drivers are coming in or out of the pits. So, yeah. It will change in the future. I'm sure after the end of this weekend, they'll be like, right, time to revise the rule book. But they have not revised it as of now. Yeah. It is extremely annoying, but yeah, and it's totally unfair as well. It's not like, oh, sometimes life's that way and your engine blows up. It's not, it's totally changeable. So, yeah. Must be very, very annoying for Carlos Sainz. Okie dokes, we've got 6 minutes 55 seconds left on the clock. Verstappen is finally out onto the circuit. And let's wait and see what he can do then. So he's out, he's on a... what is he on? He's on a fast lap now, is he? Yes, he is. He is on a fast lap. He goes 0.2 faster than the Mercedes, but still not as quick as Fernando Alonso through the first sector. We'll see if he can make it up. It looks like he will not be getting a toe off anyone. So they haven't timed the lap, so he'll get a toe. But, yeah. Imagine Sargent can go up into Q3. Well, I mean, he could. I mean, the Williams is doing quite well, and with McLaren eliminated, because usually McLaren are the drivers to get through into Q3. So that's 2 extra slots in Q3 that usually aren't available, that are available now. And looking at Mercedes' lap times, we'll have to wait and see if they can get it through into Q3. Verstappen purple in the middle sector, and the 2 Mercedes now coming across the line. Hulkenberg starts a flying lap. Hamilton next driver to cross the line. Well, they can definitely get through into Q3 because Hamilton's just got top of the times, and Russell has gone second. Serious pace there from the 2 Mercedes drivers. And yeah, let's see what Verstappen can do. And he goes a solid 0.2 ahead of both Mercedes drivers. The 2 Mercedes drivers very, very close to each other, 33 milliseconds between them. But Leclerc now, let's see what Leclerc can do. He's got purple in the middle sector, green in the first sector. And K-Mag, once again, K-Mag purple in the first sector. He goes faster than Leclerc. I mean, I don't know how he is doing it. Maybe he's using too much of his tyres in the first sector. We'll have to wait and see. But Charles Leclerc, purple in the middle sector now. And he's not going to get a toe off Sergio Perez, but we'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, the FIA could use Charlie like when F1. FIA could use common sense like when Charlie was here. Yeah. Oh, Leclerc crosses the line and he goes, oh my God, 7/10 of a second. Wow. How he has done that lap, I have no idea. I mean, Sainz sets a good lap. He goes 2/10 faster than Verstappen. Leclerc goes a solid half a second faster. Half a second. This man, what is Charles Leclerc? I mean, what? How is he doing this? Um, yeah, quite ridiculous. Quite ridiculous indeed. Um, Yeah, wow. And K-Mag up in fourth position as well. The Haas doesn't look to be any slower, especially Kevin Magnussen as well in that Haas. He's been able to set purple first sectors, going 4/10 faster than Hulkenberg in the first sector alone, which is quite crazy. So, I mean, of course, Hulkenberg will be looking over the telemetry data. A 4/10 pace difference will be quite clear to him where he needs to get onto the power early, but Kevin Magnussen is up in fourth position and Hulkenberg is quite far behind. Okie dokes. How many people have we got tuned into the stream? Let's have a look. We have got 1,700. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I very much do appreciate the support, guys. Hopefully you guys tune in for tomorrow's race as well. Yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow, of course, for the Grand Prix. So if you are enjoying the coverage, then be sure to tune in tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Logan bet against Q3. Well, Logan Sargent currently in 13th position. And we've got 2 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock. So the drivers now all doing their warm-up preparations, going out for another lap. Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen. They're all out on soft tires, and they're all out on used soft tires as well. So nobody looking to go on a nobody looking to go onto a fresh set. And I think I know why. Okay, so basically, once they go to a new circuit, the teams aren't exactly sure what sort of tires they're going to need. And I think Pirelli has some sort of say as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Pirelli just brought less soft tires and a lot more mediums and hards because they weren't sure about how the tire wear was going to be and say, oh, you needed the medium tires to go for the race. Like the medium tires were only going to last and not wear out ridiculously quickly. Then in that circumstance, what Pirelli have done would have made sense. But in this circumstance, it's just not working out really. Oh, Maria, you're gonna watch the race tomorrow. That's brilliant. Well, yeah, I hope you have hope it's a good race. Do you know which grandstand you are in? Like which corner you're gonna be sat next to? Because I'm sure there'll be quite a few overtakes down into turn number 14, 15, and 16, and especially into turn number 1 as well. Perez is sat in the pit. That is very, very strange. And with 1 minute left on the clock, Perez is not getting out. So some sort of issue there for Sergio Perez. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. All right, 1 minute remaining on the clock now. Charles Leclerc looking to start his hot lap. And Charles Leclerc isn't actually being... they're not sacrificing Carlos Sainz's performance, actually, for Charles Leclerc. Leclerc is just... Yeah, I mean, he's going on his own. He's not getting a toe off anyone. And by the looks of it, nobody's sort of trying to organise a toe because it seems to be far too complicated to do that. Okie dokie then. So the final drivers to start their lap times are... yeah, they're underway now. So Hamilton on a flying lap and so is Lance Stroll. Is Lance Stroll on a flying lap? Yes, he is. Okay. So now Q1, well, everyone started a lap. Now these are the drivers who are ending their lap. So we got currently got Stroll in 14th. He comes across the line and he's up into 10th. That is very, very close to getting eliminated. Hamilton who is in fifth position now, crosses the line and does not improve. Next up is George Russell, who puts himself up into third position. Brilliant job there from George Russell. And look at this, Logan Sargent up into sixth position. Fernando Alonso, who's currently in ninth, improves a bit and up into fifth position. Next is Valtteri Bottas, who's in 12th. He's up into 8th place, and Stroll and Hulkenberg are pushed into the elimination zone. Verstappen, next driver across the line, and he improves, but not enough to push him up any positions. He stays in 4th place there. Ricciardo across the line, he doesn't improve. Albon up into 5th position. Gasly up into 4th position. Yeah, great improvement there. But for Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, I mean, they're just coming across the line and improving. I mean, Leclerc's gone green and then purple, and now does he improve? Does he cross the line? Yes, he does. He improves and then improves by another half a tenth. So not that big of an improvement, but nevertheless, he's 5.5 tenths ahead of his teammate, which is massive. And we've got Logan Sargent through into Q3. I mean, he's up into 9th position. So it is a third home race of the season. He is now through into Q3, which is brilliant. I mean, the Williams, of course, this is a low downforce circuit, so the Williams is going to be performing quite well, and that is, of course, great to see. But yeah, a very, very big pace difference there between Charles Leclerc and the rest of the field, which is quite interesting, to be honest. Quite interesting indeed. Also, Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez eliminated. Of course, Perez had some sort of issue which meant he couldn't get out of the pits. Hamilton just not improving that much. And then we had Nico Hulkenberg, who got a lap time deleted. He got a lap time deleted. And then we had Stroll, who improved but nowhere near enough. And Ricciardo, same thing. I'm surprised they didn't have a sprint race to make the most of the event. I think they've already had, I think they have a limit of how many sprint races. And also, I think they do sprint races on circuits that they've been established at Formula One. Like Formula One, has been to Brazil quite a few times. It's been to, where else have you had a sprint race? I've totally forgotten now. But, at COTA, like the circuits are well established. Parts of Formula One, whereas Vegas is not ideal, because if you consider if they did have a sprint race yesterday, then sprint qualifying yesterday, then that would have meant that sprint qualifying would have been delayed. Qualifying would have been delayed because of a manhole cover. Like, it's not ideal, really. Okie dokes. Also, guys, just once again, if you are interested in watching F1, which I'm sure you are since you're on this stream, there is a discount running on the link in the description, and it might be a lot cheaper than Sky Sports or whatever it is in your respective country. So I would suggest you go ahead and just click the link and see what it is. If it's more expensive, then no harm done. You've just pressed a link, and if it is cheaper, then you can watch F1 for a lot cheaper than Sky Sports. Yeah. Oh, we have a yellow flag on the circuit for some reason. A little bit strange. A yellow flag, a double yellow flag. That is a bit interesting, but yeah. Right. Whatever that issue was has been cleared up. Okie dokes. Yeah, so Q3 will be underway shortly, and the drivers made it through. The two Ferraris, the two Ferraris, the two Williams, and then everyone else is on there on their own. So you've got George Russell, you've got George Russell, the one Mercedes, Pierre Gasly, the one Alpine, Max Verstappen, the one Red Bull, and Kevin Magnussen and Fernando Alonso, the one Aston Martin, and the one Haas and Aston Martin. So it's what was I going to say? Quite a lot of different teams in there. I mean, which teams have we not got? In fact, we've not got AlphaTauri, and we have not got McLaren, and apart from that, we've got every other team. So that's it. Wow, that's quite interesting actually. We don't see this particularly often. Of course, it is a bit of a surprise. We've got Norris and Piastri who are usually into Q3. They're not there, and then you've got Hamilton and Perez who usually aren't in Q3. They're not there as well. So nicely done indeed. Why did they pit Perez so early in Q2? I think Perez had some sort of issue which meant he couldn't come out onto the circuit, and that's why he got eliminated. Yeah. All right. Q3 will be getting underway shortly. Oh, and also just one other reason to click the link. Basically, if you guys click the link, and if all of you click the link like multiple times and stuff, it's quite likely that I'll get like a very good F1 sponsorship and probably a very big discount for you guys as well next season. Yeah, and I'll be sponsored by like F1 TV, which would be quite awesome. So yeah, if you guys just want to help out the channel, then go ahead and just click the link for the sake of it. It just drives those numbers up, and then I could potentially get a nice sponsorship. Yeah, and yeah, you guys could definitely get a discount as well. I could figure that out, figure out some sort of discount code, and get it going that way. All right, so oh, and also if you guys want access to the data as well, then that's how you get the data through the link. So yeah, I'm just telling you guys to click the link, but yeah, you get the data, you get to be able to watch F1, and you get to help out the channel as well. Okie dokes. So the Q3 will be starting shortly now. Last month they should have added another layer of asphalt with sealant the water and the main cover is just the beginning. Yeah, I mean the drain covers. It's quite a recurring issue. We've seen it at actual race circuits. We've seen it at street circuits. It's yeah, it's a pretty difficult thing when you've got like such a severe amount of force, not severe, like such a strong force coming from the diffusers of these cars. When they drive over, the suction force is immense, and yeah. Also, we've got the wind at 0 kilometers an hour westwards. Like, I think that's the first time I've seen the wind being 0 kilometers an hour. I mean, this is very, very ideal for F1 cars because they do not like wind whatsoever. But yeah, very strange. I haven't never seen 0 kilometers an hour wind on this graphic before. And also, I would like to point out, guys, once again, Carlos Sainz is up in second position, but he will get a 10-place grid penalty for, I think, a new gearbox and like control electronics and an energy store and all of that stuff. So, yeah. How many Beto McLarens have gone out? What? I mean, McLaren. How many times have both McLarens gone out of Q1? I'm not sure, but it's not been. I think at the start of the season it wasn't great. Like McLaren were getting consistently eliminated out of Q1, but they have massive improvements. I mean, massive improvements, and yeah, it's very strange to see them back where they started. What happens when you reach the sub in the light goal? Nothing particularly special. I just probably increase the goal again. Yeah. What FIA did to Carlos is wrong. They need that 10 spots back. Yes, it is 100% wrong, but yeah, it's just annoying, isn't it? I'm sure Ferrari will be having some very stern words and they'll be trying to pull some strings to get that rule changed, but I don't think they'll be able to get the rule changed quickly enough. Yeah, Sargent on pole, guys. I think Sargent can get pole. I mean, it's quite easy. There's a low downforce circuit. Logan Sargent is home race. He's going to have extra 10 miles per hour because of that. Yeah, 1.5k watching and only 370 likes. I mean, yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, be sure to hit the like button. It does just boost the stream in the YouTube algorithm, which is always nice and beneficial. Yeah. Okie dokes. if Verstappen got Jeddah 2021. I mean, yeah, Verstappen could put a hook up a very, very good lap. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe he's not been pushing to the absolute limit, because it is a street circuit and he knows that the Red Bull is a quick car, so he doesn't want to risk it too much, maybe. But it's not typical of Verstappen. Typically, Verstappen is always attacking, always right on the limit. So yeah, how could Ferrari be penalised for an incident not they're making? I mean, yeah, it's Boaty McBoatface. You have a very good point there. Um, WTF is a kilometer, Logan Sargent. Yeah, honestly, I should have this meme like just playing, and then I can press a button on my keyboard or something, and then it plays the meme. Um, because it comes up so often, and I mean, with Logan Sargent up in ninth position, that is brilliant. K-Mag on pole. I mean, K-Mag could definitely get eighth, not eighth, fourth or fifth position, I think, because he's shown some serious pace, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah. Uh, is the final result Orlando 16th? Yeah. Kia Ora from New Zealand, by the way, love the stream. Oh, from New Zealand. Yeah. Oh, New Zealand is a very, very cool place. But the time I think there. Oh, and the time zone's not too bad for this race. It'll be like, what will it be? 9 p.m., maybe 10. I'm not sure. You need to sleep immediately. Indeed, I do. I have slightly lacking on sleep here. I had to get up early to do the stream rather than the typical afternoon stream, at least in UK time. Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna have a quick drink and then I'm gonna commentate the remaining runs of Q3. But we've just had the first few runs. K Mag 134.2, Pierre Gasly 133.7. Next, Fernando Alonso 133.5, 2 tenths faster. Carlos Sainz a 133.0. Next driver Charles Leclerc. What can he do? How much is he going to beat Carlos Sainz by? Oh my God, they are so close together. 22 milliseconds between the two drivers. And here comes Max Verstappen. He's green in the first sector, purple in the second sector. And he is very, very quick in the final sector. Here he is across the line, third position. And he is 1 tenth behind Charles Leclerc. Guys, we could have an actual close fight for Q1 and then live stream for Starship launch. Is there a Starship launch today? I don't think there is a Starship launch, to be honest, but I don't know. Let me know. Sergeant Tire Age 9 laps. Yes, we are slightly lacking on a set of fresh tires, fresh soft tires today. So yeah, that is. Yeah, so that's why everyone's out on used set of tires, and then they'll put on a fresh set for the final bit. Fun fact: New Zealand is the last country discovered by humans back in the 19. I mean, I think when we say discovered by humans, I think you mean discovered by like the Western world, because I'm pretty sure the Maori were living there before, which are like the indigenous New Zealand people. But yeah, I think discovered by like Europe in the 1980s. 1980s is still pushing it, no? It was discovered in the 1500s by Dutch. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was discovered. It wasn't. Yeah, discovered by Europe. He's back. The man who is sleepy is finally back. Yeah, that is me. There were people there for long time, thousands of years. Yeah, that is correct. The Maori, they are the indigenous people of New Zealand. Ooh, apologies for the background noise there. All right, I'm going to have a quick drink of water. We've got 6 minutes left on the clock. All of the drivers back into the pits. And George Russell's the only driver out on the circuit, but we'll see the rest of the drivers do their final runs of Q3 in a couple of minutes. Yeah, Bottas hasn't had a run, and neither have the two Williams. I mean, to be honest, the way the teams go about doing their tire allocations is that they think, they guess that they're going to make it through into Q2, and then they do their tire allocations based upon that. And yeah, so they expected that Bottas would get eliminated in Q2, but he didn't. So that's why they haven't got any fresh sets of tires left. So they've only got the one that Pirelli give them to making it through into Q3, and that's why they're only doing one run. And I think the same for the Williams as well. They were not expecting to make it through, so they only have the one set that Pirelli gave them. All right, George Russell crosses a line of 133.5 from him, 2 tenths faster than Pierre Gasly and just marginally slower than Fernando Alonso. Yeah, we'll wait and see if he can. Oh, actually, no. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Not Stroll. Russell isn't going to go any quicker because that was his only one and only run of Q3. Is Sainz going to give Leclerc a tow? That is the question. And by the looks of it, no, because Sainz has come out onto the circuit already, and Leclerc is still in the pits. So Sainz not giving Leclerc a tow. I guess they're trying to be as fair as possible. Because I think Sainz wants to have a shot at pole position, if we're being honest here, with him only being 22 milliseconds behind Charles Leclerc. Admittedly, even if he hasn't got, even if he has got a 10 place grid penalty, he still does get pole position. He won't start first on the grid, of course, but he will start in pole. He will get pole position on his stats record, and I'm sure he wants a pole. Yeah. Okie dokes. So Sainz, Alonso, Russell, Sargent, Bottas, Albon all coming out onto circuit now. And Verstappen now just the final driver to come out of the pit lane with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. We'll have a couple of drivers starting their flying lap shortly. Why is Leclerc still in? Oh, Leclerc's just come out now, and so has Verstappen. All right, so there we go then. Carlos Sainz starting his flying lap. Behind him is Fernando Alonso, and then we have got who's that covered up behind George Russell? Logan Sargent. They're actually quite close to each other. Yeah, they're all awfully close to each other to be doing a hot lap. I think some of them might be doing a warm up lap. I'm not 100% sure there. I mean, we'll just have a look at the lap times, and yeah, it's quite evident that everyone is doing a warm up lap. Interesting. I would have thought that with the circuit being so long, there's no need for a warm up lap, but clearly that's what we're seeing here. Oh, Leclerc and Verstappen aren't going for a warm up lap though. With only 2 minutes left on the clock, Leclerc could maybe get a warm up lap done if he's quick, but I think there would be no point because you have to push too much. And Verstappen is definitely not doing a warm up lap. All right. So here we go then. We have got Charles Leclerc underway for his final run of Q3. And we'll have the next drivers through. We'll have the next drivers done shortly as well. All right, Verstappen as well. And then we have got Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, and then the rest of the drivers making the way around. Yeah. So here they go then. Let's have a look. Let's stay on board with Charles Leclerc. His first sector does not improve in the first sector. In fact, had quite a bad first sector. Maybe he hasn't warmed up his tyres properly. But as he makes his way through the middle sector, it's looking to improve a little bit. Now going towards turn number 10 and 11 is very, very high speed through there. We'll wait and see how he manages. But yeah, just a standard quality lap from Charles Leclerc. Definitely pushing very, very hard, though. You can see it from where he's braking and how late he's braking and where his racing line is. Pushing the track limits all the way. And look at that, purple through the middle sector. Very, very quick indeed. And here he is now coming through the back straight. Of course, DRS is enabled. This straight is slightly shorter than the straight at Baku as well. Yeah. Everyday astronaut live streaming the launch T-4 hours. Oh, okay. So maybe the Starship is going to launch. Who knows? All right, Charles Leclerc coming out of the final corner now. Here he goes across the finish line. He's already in the lead by 222 milliseconds. He is now in the lead by 0.3 of a second. So Charles Leclerc extends his lead out up at the front. What can Verstappen do? What can Sainz do? Verstappen 2 yellow sectors from him. And it looks like it's not getting any better. So it looks like Verstappen is out of this fight for pole position. Next up is Carlos Sainz. Let's have a look at this. Carlos Sainz improved in the first sector, improved in the second sector. What can he do? Can he get ahead of Charles Leclerc? We've got Fernando Alonso coming towards the line as well. He's currently in 5th place. Verstappen pulls into the pits. He knows he's not improved. Alonso, next driver across the line, is currently in 5th position, does not improve enough to go up any higher. Carlos Sainz is next across the line. He also does not improve. Oh, and sorry, he does improve, but he's 0.5 behind Leclerc. So close. Sargent up in 4th position. Logan Sargent up in 4th position. How has this happened? I have no idea. Valtteri Bottas is in 5th position. Next, we have George Russell, who's pushed himself up into 4th, Sargent down into 5th. Alex Albon, where can he go? Sargent up, Alex Albon up into 5th position, continues his streak of out-qualifying Logan Sargent, and then we've got Gasly up into 5th place there. So that is it. That is Q3 done. We have Charles Leclerc on pole position. What a lap from him. Then we have Sainz in 2nd, Verstappen in 3rd. Sainz will be starting in 12th position because of a 10-place grid penalty. So Leclerc and Verstappen on the front row, which will be great to see. And then Russell in 4th, Gasly in 5th, Albon in 6th, Sargent in 7th, Bottas in 8th, Magnussen in 9th, and Fernando Alonso in 10th, surprisingly, yeah. I would have expected Alonso to be higher, but apparently not. Wow. So, yeah, that's been Q1, guys. Not Q1, Q3, qualifying. Qualifying as a whole is complete. We've got 2,000 people watching, guys. I would very much urge you to just click the link that is pinned in the chat or the first link in the description. It will probably mean that you guys get a discount on F1 TV next season for like the entire year. If you just click the link, because basically it's like, oh, if you do well in the sponsorship and you get a bunch of people clicking your link, we'll get you a good discount for next year. So just click the link to get me a sponsorship. And if F1 TV is cheaper than Sky Sports in your region, then you can go ahead and continue through the purchase as well. Yeah, is F1 TV live? Yeah, F1 TV is live. Well, it depends on where you are in the world. It'll tell you on the website. In some places it will say delayed F race coverage, and then in some places it will say live race coverage. Yeah. All right. But that has been qualifying today. I will be streaming for tomorrow's race as well. Also, we're 5 likes away from 500 likes, so if we could hit 500 likes, that'd be brilliant. But yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow's race, so be sure to tune into that. And what else have I got to say? No, nothing much else. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. You guys in chat have been absolutely wonderful. And we've got a pretty exciting race on our hands. Leclerc and Verstappen, the race pace quite similarly matched, their qualifying pace quite similarly matched, and I suspect we're going to have a very exciting tussle and battle between these two for tomorrow's race. So I'm going to end today's stream. It'll take you over to tomorrow's stream. Just go ahead and press the reminder button. And while you're at it, go ahead and press the link in the description to get me a sponsorship. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, night, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you tomorrow. Cheers, fellas.